We're back. I'm Jordan Glover here with Moms Off Mute. And today I'm joined by Leslie, our podcast producer.
Hello.
Welcome. And fellow mom. I have a bone to pick with you. I heard you went to the Bruno Mars concert.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So I remember putting in the group chat
I think I do too.
that we should all go.
Yes.
And they're like, how much are tickets?
I know.
And I sent it.
You did.
And I got crickets. So I was like, fine, I'll do something else since nobody wants to go with me. And I wasn't going to drag my husband to a Bruno Mars concert. And then I found out that you went.
See, here's the thing. I woke up and I had to go to a child's soccer game, which, by the way, is not real soccer.
You have a baby.
No, it was my nephew. I was watching 4-year-olds, and that is the funniest thing because that is not soccer. It is just psychopaths running in circles and deciding they don't want to do this anymore. But anyway, so we're driving, and Risk It All comes on the radio, and I go, I need to see that man tonight. So in the car, I just looked up tickets to see what the price was. And see, here's the thing. I was going to call you, but then my mom called me at the same time and she said, isn't Bruno Mars here? And I said, girl, is it kismet that you just texted me? Because actually she called me. I'm looking up tickets right now and I can buy crappy seats. And I bought crappy seats at that moment. As I bought the seats, I looked to JJ and I said, Jordan's going to murder me. She is going to throw me down a flight of stairs and refuse to be my friend ever again.
It is fine. I just want to point out the last time he was here, someone else did the same thing to me.
Who?
My own father. He goes, you like Bruno?
Uncle Willie, we like all concerts.
And I was like, yes. Well, I went by myself. What? That man loved the show. Loved the show. Went to MGM by himself twice to see Bruno.
Honestly, that is actually amazing. I have yet to have the courage to go to a concert by myself.
Oh, he used to go to everything by himself. If nobody was joining him, it was not stopping him from having a good time.
That's some really boss energy. I think I applaud people who are willing to not force someone to go to a show with them, but just want to go to a concert by themselves.
And be as happy as can be. I can see my son doing that. Very much so.
Yeah, he would. Well,
today we're talking about baby monitors, nanny cams, all the things. So you currently have...
I have, it's the VTech something, but it's...
No, I meant like your child.
Oh, I thought you meant one baby monitor.
It's like, why do you have a baby monitor? Because you have
I have a child. Woo! No, I have like a 15-month-old.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a good age.
I just hate that we have to measure our children in months. I can't wait till she's just 3 and I'm not 3 3/4. Like she's just 3.
I stopped at 2.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I'll just do that because I feel like it's
like
so
I can't
silly.
do it anymore.
Yes. It's just weird, unnecessary math. I went to school for journalism, not math, and I don't want to do math just to give you my child.
She's under 2.
She's under 2. Let's go with that. She's under 2.
So baby monitors, what did that conversation kind of look like? Did you want it? Did you not want one?
I definitely wanted one, especially, so I had a NICU kid, so she was in the NICU for 3 months. Never got to see her at night, and so it was just leaving the hospital and just like hoping. So getting the baby monitor was just kind of like really, really nice because I needed that reassurance. I left the hospital and being like, can I take one of the NICU nurses with me? You guys are just raising her so well. I just feel like you shouldn't let me do this by myself. I mean, I had my husband, but you shouldn't let us do this by ourselves. Like, can we please just rent one of you for a couple hours? Maybe. I don't know. So getting a monitor was just very important for me. I needed that peace of mind. But she also went home on a heart monitor too. So I needed
all the digital
things to feel like I could sleep because I know the hardest thing is not getting sleep. So I needed to feel some kind of safety so that sleep could be a part of my life.
Right. And it's just us. They are perfectly fine.
I know.
They're chilling. They're having a good time. And they didn't. I was the opposite. I had a NICU baby for like a hot second. I think she just wanted to scare us.
She came early too.
She did. She was early, but she
baby
wasn't
shower was canceled.
Yes, she wasn't in the NICU for a long time, though, is what I'm saying. I could not have the baby monitor. I just, like the video one, I did the sound for my youngest because I like hearing her was enough. If I had the camera, I was just not sleeping because I was constantly looking at her. And because I had another one that I was actually also looking at, I'm like, this is getting to be a bit too much. And at that time, he was 15 months. She was obviously a newborn. And I'm like, I'm overdoing it between my husband, my sister, my mom, myself. There's enough adults in here that I don't need to constantly watch both baby monitors on video.
I didn't even think about that. That is just like extremely connected to be kind of cyber stalking or just like video stalking two children at once.
Right.
But having a sound monitor feels very 1990s.
Yes.
I was watching, I know I'm like 3 years late, Little Fires Everywhere.
Oh, and so good.
And again, I read the book first. And by read, I mean audiobook because your girl ain't got no time to read. I did not realize having children meant, and by children I mean child, meant no free time of your own. So the only solace I get is like an audiobook. But listen to the audiobook, then watch the show. And she had a baby monitor that was just the sound. And I was like, I forgot the 90s didn't have technology like that. There was no video monitor. You're just relying on the sound. And I don't know, for me, that visual was key. I know you had two, so the visual probably would have been too much, but I really needed to look at her. I don't know what it is. It was almost like I could smell her through the screen when I could see her.
No, and I think the other thing was that, like, because we had the snoo, like between the snoo yelling at us through an app saying, like, hey, go get your baby, we can hear her clearly. And then the baby monitors also like loud. It's like, how do I minimize this a little bit? Because it's too much.
That is too much. I forgot about the snoo. You did let me borrow that snoo, and my child hated it. She was like, I don't want to be constrained. But I think it was also because she was just used to always being connected to monitors and pricked and prodded that she was like, this is my first ounce of freedom. Don't put me in this straitjacket. So yeah, that's a lot of connectivity for you. The snoo, the monitor, the sound monitor, and your cell phone. Yeah, I can see.
I was only 1 for 2, by the way. Like, my oldest like was upset when we had to remove him from the snoo and put him in a crib because he looked at me like, it's not moving. Like, how am I supposed to sleep?
Wait, how long was he even in the snoo? That was a big old baby. There was like a weight limit for that thing.
Listen.
That man was a little large.
He was long in it, and like his head was bouncing off the side, and we didn't care. He was happy. So the snoo is a digital bassinet. Let's call it that, where it's like it softly rocks your baby once your baby is strapped in properly. In those, like, what are they called?
Straight jackets.
Well, yeah, they're essentially
straight jacket,
but they're called like, something.
I don't know, like a swaddle. It's like swaddle to like the.
It's a Velcro swaddle.
That's what it is.
That you put your baby in. You essentially like quote unquote lock them into the snoo, and it rocks them. And when they move or cry, it rocks them a little bit more, and then it'll go. But it's also an app, so it'll tell you like how quote unquote long your baby slept, how much they cried, how much they had to rock them. It's very like it's cool, and I liked it a lot for my first. It brought me a lot of peace of mind, even though he was still in the room. My youngest, between the 15-month-old being able to walk and get in the bed with us and having a newborn, she was in her own room. The bassinet was in a room, the door was closed, and if she needed us, we went to go get her because I just wasn't doing the bassinet and a 15-month-old in the room at the same time.
I totally agree. We had her in our room for a while, but I do remember the NICU nurses being like, you're better at knowing when your baby needs you more than you think you do. So it's okay to put her in her own room and in the crib instead of just relying on the bassinet being by your side, because those little stinkers, they make the weirdest noises. They'll be KO'd, completely knocked out. And you hear these noises and you jump up and you're like, oh, I just jumped up to watch her sleep. So putting her in the room was really important that we did that earlier, which is why we were like, we need to get a monitor that isn't like extremely sensitive. So I'm not waking up at every little turn again as if she's in the room, but also feel a little safe.
Yeah. And the ones that just have sound are also extremely affordable. Like years ago, they weren't. And now I'm assuming because there's so many different ones, mainly that you can like look at. I mean, I even contemplated the ones that I think it's the Owlet, that it's the camera, the sound, the
sock.
the sock. Oh my gosh. I was like reading, I went through a deep dive, obviously, on Reddit and all the reviews. And I'm like, huh, I do not need to be a paranoid person in the middle of the
Yes.
night. If the sock
Yes.
goes off, it starts like going off, whatever. And he's breathing. She's
Yes.
breathing. They
Yes.
are fine. Go to sleep, mom.
I had that same thought. I wanted to get that one, but then my mother-in-law, thank God I love my mother-in-law. I just always appreciate her opinion.
Yeah. So which
Yes.
baby monitor did you decide on?
We ended up getting this a VTech. I'm not really sure exactly what model it is, but it's the monitor and then an actual screen. And you can also hook it up to your cell phone if you want. But I just didn't really want to rely on my phone
Hmm.
because I'm someone who just likes to play games and I don't want that little thing in the corner. I really liked having the screen, and it was hard to decide on which ones. Like you said, there were so many. They're very expensive, but this one is like at a really good price point. It gave me exactly what I needed.
I don't remember which one I had. I know for my oldest, we had the outlet without the sock, and I loved it. However, scared the crap out of me because you could share the link, but
Mm,
it was private, but you could still share the link. And Evan was traveling a lot at that time, and I'm just changing my kid, and I hear a voice come through the outlet, unprompted. I threw my baby at my mom. I ripped the thing off the wall. It looked like I was like doing renovations in my poor son's room. And
That's
I
hilarious.
I've never Incredible Hulk like that in my life. And obviously it was Evan trying to say hi to his family, but he didn't have cell phone service at the time. So 48 hours later, I get a call and I answer, and all I hear is him dying laughing, saying, "Did you think it was some random person talking to you on the camera?" So listen, for the last 48 hours, I have cut off all communication with the outside world that could possibly be
Oh
near
my
our baby
gosh.
because I was terrified. Why don't you just send a text? Be like, "Hey, how's it going?" Like, it's weird to just sit there and stare while somebody's in the room with your kid, no?
I mean, it is, but now you're gonna make me feel a little shamed because I we went on our first trip as a family, and by family I mean just me and my husband without our daughter, and my parents had her, and I did look at the monitor on my cell phone. At first, so we got a monitor that again hooks up to your cell phone, and I was really weary about hooking it up to my cell phone because I didn't want to be that connected. But then my mother-in-law came over. She's like the opposite of a normal boomer. She actually understands technology because I couldn't get the daggone thing to work. So I had this boomer teaching me technology and her setting it up for me. And I was just like, stop showing me out. Come on. Like, stop making me feel like I'm the old lady. So now I had it. And I was like, okay, JJ, I know it's like 8 o'clock. Let's just look at the monitor and see if she's sleeping. I mean, obviously she's going to be sleeping. There was no need for me to check it out, but I had to. So I am Evan, I guess.
But looking at your baby is fine. Staring while I'm changing your son, I'm playing games. Like, he was watching our entire morning routine
Okay, that's a lot.
before he said anything.
That's a lot. That's
like,
a lot.
it's too much. And I get it. He was away. That's the only way he could feel connected. He didn't have cell phone service. But maybe mute yourself.
No, that's my favorite. My favorite because my mom forgot that it was connected to my cell phone. So I just started making noises and watching her head, like you, swivel around, freak out, throw Peyton a little.
So you are Evan.
I am.
Thank you.
I am Evan.
Thank
I
you
am
for
Evan.
terrifying the rest of us.
Yeah, I
I
am
appreciate
Evan.
that. There was actually an episode. Do you watch The Rookie?
No, is that the show with what's his name? Nathan Fillion.
I don't know his name.
Oh,
I
okay.
know him as Officer Nolan.
Okay.
So possibly he's Canadian, but I just got into it. Like, they're on season 8 and I just started maybe what, 3 months ago?
My kind of content. I love a good 8 season binge.
Obsessed. Like, it's like it is gives you like the crime and like fear a little bit of like maybe like an SVU, but it has a lot of humor and fun moments to
Okay.
it. So it's like dramedy-ish.
We love dramedy.
But it's ABC, so you know how ABC does, right?
Scandal.
Exactly.
That was my
And
scandal, my yearly scandal plug. Everyone watch Scandal. You need it.
yes, Detective Nyla.
Okay.
She recently married, just had a baby, and her husband are having a disagreement in the car about the baby monitor because they also had like a shared link situation.
Yep.
And he sent it to his mom, and she's like, "We got to cut her off. Like, it's just not, he was like, what's the harm? She never sees her granddaughter, which,
No,
like, I get it. I get
no,
it. And she's like, she sent me a text saying that my robe looked like dirty or
no,
something or had a stain on it.
no.
So she sent me a new one and told me she sent me a new one while I'm breastfeeding our child. And he goes, I see that can be a bit invasive.
Invasive indeed.
Yes. So her rookie that she was training, like, she's complaining and on the radio they're all talking about it. And the rookie was like, he doesn't have a kid, by the way. Like, he's just very young. And he's like, but do you invite her over? Do you invite her into your life and your child's life in a way that she doesn't feel like she needs to constantly, like, only connection is on this baby monitor? And she's like, fine, I'll have her over for brunch more often.
Stop trying to therapize me, Mr. Rookie. I'm just going to teach you how to be a police officer. Get out of here, my guy.
Exactly. But
She's still my mother-in-law.
honestly, I don't want my mom looking at me either.
I
I'm
don't either.
breastfeeding my kid.
I
Like,
don't
mind
either.
your business. That is my 10 to 15 minutes of peace.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Also, when I did set up my monitor, I had a real kind of, do we really need to connect it to the Wi-Fi? Is something that we really need? So I can understand being like, let's separate the two. She's sleeping, let her sleep. Not everyone needs to view this. Even myself, I don't need to view this when I'm away and my husband JJ is watching her. I don't need to. It does give me a little solace, but I do feel maybe it is a little too connected. My brother and his wife, they ended up getting a monitor that isn't connected to the Wi-Fi. So like their monitor solely relies on that screen and that's it. And it's a super simple setup, just plug camera in, screen works. And I thought maybe this should be me, but I'm a little crazier than him.
I don't think you're crazy. It's just like, it's
Obsessed?
your first kid.
It's my first kid. It was
So
his
you
first kid
just-
too.
Well, yes. But like your mom. Mom can be a little different sometimes.
She has a mom. The kid has a mom too. My sister.
I'm trying not to compare.
But
don't
also
compare
she-
parenting
She's
styles.
a PA. She's a wait. What's a PA again? Not a production assistant. A physician's assistant.
There we
'cause
go.
You can tell I've been working in media too
Yes.
long. So I think she has a little bit more of a sense of when my child needs to go to the emergency room. Is my child breathing? She has that like medical brain. So
That's fair.
there's a little bit less of lacking reality like me.
I mean, she was in the NICU for 3 months. That is enough. You don't have to explain
Thank you. Thank
your
you.
fears. If you want to look at your kid, you want to look at your kid. I mean, it's as simple as that. So, moral of the story is, if you need a new robe, you can get your
You
own.
can get your own.
You know what?
Don't send the link. Get a monitor that works for you.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be fancy. Just kind of decide what you and your partner need. Originally, like I said, we didn't think we needed the Wi-Fi, but we enjoy it now. I was at the concert and I was like, oh, it's
Without your friends.
without you. I know, my bad. And I was like, it's 9:00. Let's see if she's sleeping. And she was passed out, arms across the whole daggone crib, mouth open,
Minding her business.
minding her business, completely in her own REM sleep. So it gave me a little peace while I was uptown funking it up. Again, Jordan, I'm so sorry.
It's fine. It is
If
fine.
it makes you feel better, FedEx Field, Northwest Stadium, that's what it's called now, has the worst parking situation. So it took us an hour and 20 minutes to leave the venue.
It is not my favorite to go see anything there.
I
honestly.
will. So if that makes you feel better, the concert ended at 11. I didn't get home till like 1:30.
Nice.
With my old mama. She was like, my knees, I'm standing, I've been dancing too
You
long.
also don't live that far from the stadium. which is
Exactly.
horrible.
It took us to get out a full hour. Yeah.
Yikes. There was something else that I was going to leave the audience with. Oh, yes. Fousey always likes to acknowledge that kids are citizens. They have rights.
Yes.
So think about when privacy starts and ends.
Ooh.
Their babies, obviously monitor them because they need someone to take care of them. But what age do we stop watching our kids in their room, and when do they start having privacy?
That's actually a good question because I wanted to know that, because at what age, right, do you let them just be? Like go into their playroom and play by themselves without just having a hawk eye on them. I never really found that balance. So, because I don't really think it's fair for her to have a camera in her room for an obscene amount of time. Like, I don't know if 8 years old, 9 years old, I feel like you should have, like you said, they are citizens. They should have autonomy of themselves. And at that point, they would understand the difference between right and wrong and basic principles of just being a good human being.
Yeah.
What would you or Fosi say is like a normal, when do you turn it off? When do you take it out?
That's a really good question. Let's let our listeners sit with that, and we'll come back for episode 5 and have a conversation about privacy. And let's see how long our parents are leaving cameras in their kids' rooms. And let's talk to a kid and be like, hey, when would you actually notice that a camera is still in your room? And when you'd be like, hey, mind your business.
Yeah. Ooh. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think about myself. Maybe like first, second grade. I don't know. I don't even know what age that is.
Whenever you stop listening, you should stop watching. Maybe.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course.
This is Jordan Glover of the Family Online Safety Institute, joined by
Leslie,
our podcast producer.
What?
And fellow mom. Congratulations on having an almost 2-year-old. You're doing
Girl, you skipped a lot of months. Almost 2. I got like a whole more than half a year.
You are doing a fantastic job.
Thank you.
As a physical mom and digital mom.
Thank you.
Kudos to you. This is Moms Off Mute. Join us every Wednesday wherever you get your podcast. And for more tips, tricks, and resources, visit us at fosi.org. Thanks, everyone. This podcast is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. It is not a substitute for professional advice, including medical, mental health, or legal guidance. The views expressed by hosts and/or guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of the Family Online Safety Institute, otherwise known as FOSI. Guest contributions are based on personal experience and are not intended as professional guidance. Any mention of products, services, organizations, or tools is for discussion purposes only and does not constitute an endorsement by the Family Online Safety Institute